Okay, good. Good
Good.
morning, everyone. My name is Suzan Yemidi, Head of Strategic Partnerships for Voice Network. I'm very happy to be joining you, although I'm joining you online. I'm glad for the opportunity to talk about Voice Network and also to share bits of the barometer that was published last year with you. I will share briefly what Voice Network is about, and then I'll go into the barometer just to give it a bit of context for Cameroon and to set the pace for your conversations. Thank you. So, who are we as Voice Network? Voice Network was formed in 2010, and its vision is to have a sustainable cocoa sector, and its mission is actually to be a watchdog and a catalyst for a sustainable cocoa sector. So we have the agenda to make sure that we work together with other like-minded entities within the cocoa space to move for a sustainable cocoa sector. We are a global network with members from civil society, farmer cooperatives, and trade unions. Currently, we stand at 29 members and 9 associates and 2 consortium members. And I'm very happy to show that we have members also from Cameroon. When you look at our regional spread, we are all over the world. Our headquarters is in the Netherlands, and we also have a lot of our members coming in from all over Europe. We also have members also in South and Southeast Asia, and we have members in West Africa, in particular Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire. And now we also have a growing following in Cameroon and also in the Congo. We also do have membership from Southern Latin America and also from North America. How do we work? We work through collaborations, and we use a number of platforms. So we work with ICCO, we work with organizations, we partner with organizations such as ICCO, which are normally intergovernmental organizations, SICSI as well, which is the Cote d'Ivoire Ghana Cocoa Initiative. We are also working with a number of cocoa coalitions in Europe and then in the UK and also in the US. And we are also working with the International Sustainability Cocoa Organizations as well, which are actually national-based cocoa sustainability platforms in Netherlands, in Germany, in Switzerland, and in France. One of the ways we also collaborate is also with civil society platforms in producing countries. And therefore, in Ghana, we are working with the Ghana Cocoa Civil Society platform. And in Cote d'Ivoire, we are also working with the platform Ivoirienne de Cacao Dura. And we are looking forward to working with also platforms which are in Cameroon and other countries as well. We also do have partnerships with private sector. So we work a lot also with WCF, World Cocoa Foundation, with IDH, and also with the International Cocoa Initiative. And more, as conversations around sustainability increases, we are also working to have other commodities join us. And that's so Voice has already launched a sister network, which is actually focusing on coffee called Vocal. These are the areas that we work with primarily as a network with our members. So we work on human rights, we work on living income, we also work on environmental degradation and deforestation, and we also work on good governance. All of these pillars is towards the agenda of a sustainable cocoa sector where farmers thrive and where farmers earn a living income and can work in a very enabling environment. There are opportunities for us to expand the work we do, and therefore I throw the invitation out to all members to join us. One of the key things that is happening is also the growing production levels in Cameroon, and therefore the barometer is also now looking at how we can bring Cameroon more and more to the global stage in terms of conversations on sustainability. So the barometer this year also looked at Central Africa, particularly Cameroon and the Congo, and we are looking at how we can also scale our advocacy for fairer purchasing practices so that irrespective of global prices, farmers can earn a living income. We are looking at how we deepen South-South collaboration. So how do producing countries gather together, share ideas, learn from each other, and how do they also get the platform at the global level to talk about their issues, to be engaged in the global discourse. And of course, more and more, we realize that we cannot work in silos as commodities. So we are also looking at how we can bring different commodities. The coffee we have already started, tea is there, cotton is there. There are other commodities that in the future we want to look at how we bring them together to advocate as one community. Basically, we come together as a chorus of voices so that we can move the agenda together. So basically, this is who we are, and I throw the invitation out to civil society organizations and trade unions to also join us. You can see my contact at the end of the slide, and you can contact me to learn more about us. Now into the Cocoa Barometer. The Cocoa Barometer is Voice Network's flagship State of the Cocoa Sustainability paper. And normally it is done every 2 years. And now we are doing, this barometer was launched last year in October in Brussels. And it actually is unique because it has looked over the last 15 years how the cocoa sector has transformed. We have looked at from 2000 to 2025, and a lot has changed. From when we were not talking to each other, from when companies were doing their own things, from when governments were just dictating, from when there was no conversation at all about farmers and their livelihoods and their lives. And now we've come to a sector where we are actually talking about prices. Initially, every conversation was just around good agricultural practices. But over the decades, we have seen a shift in the conversations within the sector, looking at prices, its impact on farmers, and its impact on climate change and deforestation. So now there's a more open conversation. We've come from a closed sector to a much more open sector where key actors who were not working together before are currently also working together. There's still room for improvement, but we have actually shifted significantly. What did the Cocoa Barometer show us? We have this that is actually just the summary of the sector and its challenges. We have human rights issues, poverty and malnutrition, child labor and human trafficking, working conditions, poor working conditions, and also lack of social amenities. When it comes to environmental issues, we also have deforestation going on, loss of biodiversity, and of course, living incomes, farmer poverty, low farm gate prices. These are all things that we are looking at. And we also have it underlined by governance issues, transparency and accountability, supply chain management, volatility in the pricing of the global commodity, and what kinds of rural infrastructure supports producers in their communities. This is just to give you an overview of production trends. More and more Cameroon and other countries are also coming up. So you can see that Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire are not the only ones that are actually producing cocoa now. And actually the volumes, other Cameroon, Nigeria, Ecuador are also really coming up in terms of cocoa production. But we can also see that there's a global shift. In spite of the increase in Cameroonian production, there is actually a global decline in cocoa, which is that, as you can see. Some of the issues, there's a lot of volatility and also supply volatility in terms of pricing and also in terms of volumes. And there are a number of issues that you can see. Climate change is part of it, gold mining, particularly in Ghana, cost of living, all of these have impacted production and also impacted the pricing at the global level. When you look at the pricing, you can see that for Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire, the price volatility also impacts it because of the regulated market that it operates. So when prices are very high, you can see some significant increase in the pricing. When prices are low, and if you look at the screen, 2025, we had very high prices, almost $12,000 per ton. And you can see that Cameroon and other countries that have a liberalized market actually benefited from the high prices. But in the same way as the price is tumbling as we see now, it also has an impact on the prices that Cameroonian farmers are also getting. When we look at the sector, the question we are asking is, where are we going with all of the issues around pricing, with the issues around farmer poverty, with the issues around deforestation? We are looking at how to manage new frontiers as new countries increase their volumes. We want to look at how companies can actually merge their corporate sustainability responsibilities with community development so that we have a holistic approach to community development. And we are also looking at how governance issues can actually be upped so that infrastructure, rural infrastructure can be assured to enable producing communities to live well and to thrive. The Cocoa Barometer has flagged a number of issues for new countries. And for Cameroon in particular, we are looking at deforestation. And what we are saying is that Cameroon should take a cue from Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire, because historically, Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire over the last 60 years have been the leading producers, but they have also contributed to forest loss. So you have about 8% of forest loss now over the two countries, and cocoa production has been one of the main drivers. And we are just flagging it that Cameroon should learn from its sisters as it also begins to expand its cocoa production. But how can you also do that in tandem with making sure that you protect the forest and the biodiversity that Cameroon has? We are also flagging for Cameroon, because of its market dynamics, to look at how it can support its farmers. When the prices are high on the open market, farmers make money. The farm gate prices are high. But when the price tumbles, what can we do? So we are calling also for Cameroon civil society, the sector actors, to look at a balance between how they support farmers when the prices tumble and how they stabilize, how they support farmers when the prices are high, and how they stabilize farmer incomes when the prices are low. So as government looks at its cocoa expansion strategy, these are some of the things we are flagging for the sector in general. We are asking that we cannot do things by ourselves, and therefore it requires a sector-wide approach. It requires landscape approach for every member in the actor to work in the space to work together. There is a place for the road ahead, and what we are asking is that more and more we should enhance purchasing practices. The regulator should look at systems to secure farm gate prices for farmers in Cameroon. We should also look at how we bring producers and civil society to the table together to work, to collaborate, to make sure that we have an inclusive and deliberative process for the sector. And we are also calling for a sector-wide commitment to assuring living incomes for the farmers. So what we are asking for is that we have seen in the past that working in silos has not worked. So for Cameroon, we are asking for civil society, for farmer cooperatives, for government and for private sector to come together in a sector-wide approach to work to ensure that we have a sustainable cocoa sector, particularly in ensuring that deforestation is minimized, and we also protect the biodiversity and the communities, farmer communities, especially within the forest zones. There is a lot that we have already flagged in the Cocoa Barometer, and it's on our website. We have it both in English and in French, and so I would ask that our colleagues, you can go to our website and you will see the detailed barometer as well as the executive summary. So this is in brief what we are asking that all the sector actors in Cameroon should look at. Thank you very much for the opportunity to share insights on the Cocoa Barometer that was published last year, and I look forward to engaging with you. If you would want to reach out to me, you can see my contact on the screen. Please send me an email, WhatsApp, whatever, and I'm happy to connect with you. Thank you very much.